Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lunari avatar upload and breakdown process. So to start, all we need is create a companion. So you'll open up, create a new project here. Avatars, name it whatever you want. We'll just name it Lunari. Select your project location and create. This should, as long as you're on the most recent version of Creator Companion and did all the instructions correct to get Creator Companion set up, create the base Unity package for you with the SDKs and everything already installed. We're not going to upgrade to the beta, so we can leave everything as default. The only thing we need to add is the Poyomi tune shader. That is going to be linked in the description of the product. You just install it through Creator Companion, and then you can just hit the plus button and add it to the project. If this is new to you, you more than likely won't see all this extra stuff on it, but for all we need are these four. So we can go ahead and open the project. All right, so this will be basically what your project may look like in the beginning. All we do now is we're going to go to where the your avatar file will have been downloaded. Let me go and find mine real quick. All right. So I'm in my project folder. I will take this and I will drag it into the asset browser. A little menu will pop up, and you can just leave all this at default and hit import. It'll go through the little loading bar and everything. A lot of waiting, and here you will see two files. You'll have the moth file, and then you'll have the openme file. The openme is the scene. You'll just go ahead and drag it into your scene. You can remove that from here. The gesture manager is just something I use for testing, so that can also be safely removed. And here you will have your avatar. That is everything. This is now ready to be uploaded. Now, the customization part and the breakdown of the avatar. This avatar is made to be more customizable, hopefully, at least in my mind, is more customizable. The body parts that are attached are really separated from everything else. So the main torso is its own rig, and then everything else, and the head is also attached to the main rig, which is just the head bone. The hair, antenna, and wings are all attached separately, and they all have their own armatures. So if we look down and we go to the spine and the chest, you'll see that the wings has their own armature with its own root, and these can actually just be completely moved off safely. So if you have custom wings, you can just safely delete this. Safely delete this and the actual wings file themselves, and boom, you can now put on your own wings attached to the chest, and everything still works fine. That is the same with the things like the hair and the antenna. All you gotta do is you just delete the hair armature and the hair model itself, and you can slap on your own hair if you want. And antenna is the same. The body also comes with its own blend shapes for body customizations. There's also on a radial menu in the actual avatar itself. The other important thing to note when customizing this avatar would be two things. First thing is the way the ambient occlusion is done on the body. It is not using a texture. The ambient occlusion is actually just baked into the vector colors. So you'll see that the vertex colors here, if I just unlock this, I have this check mark clicked on, use vertex color, and this is what controls that kind of shading that the avatar has by default. Editing this and changing this requires a lot of Blender knowledge, I guess, and how to vertex paint and use that. So this isn't really something I intend for people to edit, but this is how you can turn it on and off if you happen to not like it, or you want to make it less. Turning on linear colors makes it a little bit harsher. But yeah, the the way the expressions are done is from, we go to the face, they're done using decals. So the eyes, so the face itself, the face texture, there is actually no texture. It's just a flat color. It is UV laid out and stuff. In the Substance Painter file, you'll see there is like, you can add textures to it. It's not that I don't. I just don't use textures for it because I have it as a flat color myself. But that option is available. But the decals are textures that are just maps, and they look more like a sprite sheet than everything. So if we open it up here, it's a little hard to see because it's a transparent background, but you'll see that the expressions are actually laid out in a grid. And what the animations do, instead of using the animations for, blend shapes and stuff, it does animations that swap the texture grid. So it'll change the coordinates on the texture grid to swap out the eyes and the mouth when doing gestures and visemes. Visemes are driven also through parameters. Just a simple, when talking, play through a short, like 3-frame loop of a mouth talking animation. Give it that more like stylized look. And then, the gestures are just animations that are just swapping your typical texture. So as long as you don't mess with the decal sections of 0 and 1, and these will only work locked because you don't want them to affect other materials. As long as you don't change any of that around, all the visemes facial expressions should work. You can edit facial textures and stuff. Otherwise, everything is UV unwrapped, even though things like solid colors, like the face, like the wings, even though it's just a solid color, it's still very able to be texture painted. Wings, hair, same thing. And that I believe then is the avatar breakdown of the moth. It is, the other thing I guess would be the lantern. The lantern itself is just a separate FBX lantern that is attached to the hand with a single fizz bone on it to like do the chain movement, and then it uses a gradient alpha map to kind of do like the pulsing light effect on flat planes coming out from it, as you can see in as you can see here. So that lamp is just scaled down in size and stuff. So easily replaceable as well. If you want the animations to still work with it and you are replacing it, just make sure that your naming convention is the same. I believe, I have the lantern itself be the toggle off. So as long as you can put whatever you want here, and as long as this name is still lantern, it'll still toggle that object. So if you want to delete the armature and the lantern and put something else under it, like a different lantern, you can do that. Or a different light source, you can do that. Alright, and that I believe concludes the avatar breakdown of the Lunari moth. I hope you guys enjoyed the avatar. I hope you find it to your liking. I hope it made it a little bit more easy to understand how to customize it and do your own edits and stuff. Thank you very much again for those who have purchased and supported me by buying this model. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you and goodbye.